You're listening to episode 11 of Sustainable Photography. In this episode, I'd like to talk about being yourself and standing out, because that's such a huge factor when it comes to getting booked. You're listening to Sustainable Photography, where you get support and education to build your profitable business in a way that supports your way of living. I'm Ingvild Kolnes, and after 11 years as a photographer, I want to share what I've learned with you. So if you're looking for confidence, inspiration, and to-the-point tips, keep listening. For full transparency, I also want you to know that I'm a mentor with paid offers, and I might mention some of those in this episode. If you're just one of many, it can be really hard to stand out, and chances are high the price plays a huge role in getting chosen. I once had a couple tell me they chose me because I was the cheapest, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you that that didn't feel very good. I promised myself that would never happen again. If you show your personality and your values, you're more likely to get booked because of that. And you can charge more because you're unique instead of just being another photographer out there. So booking more can look like more shoots for more money or more of the right people. And you can go back to episode 4 if you want to learn more about branding and choosing the right clients. When you're showing up as yourself, you'll start attracting better clients. And by better, I mean people that are more like you. One photographer's dream client is another photographer's nightmare, which is so great. There are people out there for you. You just have to dare to show up as yourself instead of hiding away or trying to be someone you're not. The most unique thing about you could be what you're most afraid of showing, which might actually be the thing that your right clients would love the most. You need so few clients, so you might as well only have ones you'll love working with. If you're too similar to other photographers, there might not be anything that's catching people's attention. Photography isn't something anyone needs. It's something people buy because they want it. They want the memories from their wedding day. They want to be able to look back on how their family was 10 years before. So they're basing their decision on how they feel. If you're using the same words as someone else, or if your style can't be distinguished from others, then why would someone choose you? We're taking a quick ad break. After 10 years as a photographer, my friend Geril knew what she was doing. But after joining the Sustainable Photography program, she's gotten so much further. She's booked a dream wedding in Tuscany, completely redone her branding, and has even released a whole new photography concept. She says, "The program is amazing. I've been working as a photographer for 10 years, but finally Ingvild has pushed me to be the photographer I want to be. Go for it." So if you want to go for it, then go over to ingvildkolnes.com/sustainable to learn more. Taking good photos isn't enough to get you booked because there are so many out there who have good photos to show as well. Taking shortcuts like trying to look like someone else can work for a while, but everything will be so much simpler for you if you spend some time up front to work out who you are, what you want, and who you want to work with. That way you know what to look for when you're stuck and you need to make decisions. And when you're running your own business, there's going to be a lot of decisions you need to make. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you don't stand up, you're going to end up with more of the same blank clients, or clients who aren't willing to pay. You get more of what you do and what you share. So if you dare to say no to those who are the wrong fit for you, you'll free up space to take on more of those you want to work with. If you're the kind of photographer who takes on lots of shoots in a year, it's not that big of a deal if you take on the occasional not dream client. And of course you can do some work that's just to pay the bills. But if you're, for example, a wedding photographer or someone else who takes on only a few shoots every year, it's really a shame to give away one of those slots to someone who's the wrong fit for you. Not to mention you're going to have to work with that same couple for months and years even when you're a wedding photographer before you're done. So it's going to suck the energy out of you if you're not careful. Not to mention it's going to give you more of the same clients that you don't really want. A lot of photographers are scared of those who undercharge, and they feel they have to lower their prices as well. I'm actually not one of them. I'm actually not that scared of other people's prices. Of course, don't get me wrong, I see it as a threat to the industry as a whole when people don't charge what they should, which is part of why I want to do education in the first place. But I'm not worried about my own business. And That's because I'm clear about who I am and what I stand for. And I know that my dream client would never even think of choosing someone with low prices. My client wants high quality and they want to have a carefree, great experience, which they're willing to pay for. That doesn't matter though. You have to think about what your dream client wants. Standing out is about more than just getting noticed. It's about building a connection with people who think the same things as you do. People who value what you value and who want what you have to offer. Finding your unique superpower isn't necessarily about being so unique. It's sometimes even just about stating the obvious. The most important thing about this is maybe how do you start? Where do you begin when you're trying to find out what's unique about you or how you should stand out? First, you have to get to know yourself. What's unique about you? For example, I'm an introvert and I used to struggle a lot with this before, and I tried to learn how to take up more space. And of course that didn't work. And honestly, I didn't think I could do photography. I didn't think it was for me. But one day I was at a wedding and this venue had several weddings going on at once. I met another photographer in the elevator and he was just talking to those around him and asking a lot of questions. And later on I saw him outside, taking group photos and taking up a lot of space, just being himself, making people laugh. It was at that wedding I realized that my superpower is me. It's my personality. It's part of who I am, which is the same for you, of course. But I decided to emphasize the fact that I was more of a wallflower than an entertainer. No one would notice that I was there, which meant that they would get real, candid moments. My way of posing is telling my couple to be themselves, instead of forcing myself on them. I'm focusing more on the experience they get. When I'm sharing these things on my website and social media, it's because I want my potential clients to know what they're going to get if they choose me. It's part of what I'm selling, because only those who want a photographer like me would ever consider booking me. If they're looking for someone who's going to put on a show and make everyone laugh, they wouldn't be happy with me. So of course I wouldn't want them to book. And by the way, if you're an introvert too, like me, you definitely want to stick around for next week's episode with Rachel Fugate. We talk all about being an introvert photographer. So yeah, that's an example of why it's a great thing to be aware of and to use your uniqueness in your marketing and your booking calls. If you're fun and bubbly and take up a lot of space, make sure that shows in your social media. Use video and really share who you are with your potential clients so they know what they can expect from you. Most people have never worked with a photographer before, and you're doing both yourself and your clients a favor by sharing what they're going to get from you. You'll have a better time, they'll have a much better experience, which again will lead to better reviews and referrals. Stay with me while we take a quick break. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a mentor, and my main offer is the Sustainable Photography Program. Here's a mini ad for that. The Sustainable Photography Program is different than most courses because instead of focusing only on profit and getting more clients, because I know you're overworked enough as it is, it focuses on creating a lasting business. It's about getting the right amount of the right clients at the right price point. Go to ingvildkolnes.com/sustainable to learn more and to sign up for the waitlist. You also have to build your confidence and your mindset. Showing up in a way where you share more of who you are can be pretty intimidating. Go back to episode 9 if you want to hear more about how important mindset is. I'm sure that you're thinking that if you share more of who you are, some people might not like you. And that's probably the case. Everyone can't like you. By standing out, you'll start attracting people who do like you and lose others along the way. And that's a good thing. Because you can't take on all the people, all the clients, right? So you might as well focus on the kind of people you like the most, who has your kind of style and your values. People who trust you and want you as their photographer. Think about how you can help your dream clients. Think about what they need from you. And then just start talking about what you're all about. And stay positive rather than focusing on others. Thanks for listening to Sustainable Photography. Head over to Instagram at Ingvild Kolnes to tell me what you want future episodes to be all about. Check out the show notes over at ingvildkolnes.com/podcast. You can learn more about the Sustainable Photography Programme and sign up for the waitlist there. To get more of this content, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support makes all the difference. Talk soon.